the right question is not, am I doing the right thing? Like, this is the question that will throw you off of the path, because uncertainty is everywhere. And we want certainty in our lives, especially with decisions, right? Like, we want to know that we are making the right choices. We want to know that we are going into the right direction with our lives. And that is supernatural. The ego is built that way. Our human, like, we are human, we as humans are built that way, to want certainty. But with the right decisions, that which are really truly meant for you, and I will explain this in a second what this means, the feeling is very different. And we expect certainty with decisions, and want to follow decisions that we are certain to go to. But a lot of the times, the decisions that we are make, especially in the beginning of our journeys, when we are, again, I will explain this a lot a bit later in this episode, but in the beginning of our journeys, when we are stepping onto the right path for us, I want to phrase it this way, the right decision will feel differently. And in this episode, I will tell you why, and I also tell you what to expect and what to look for in that decision, in that feeling, that will show you which is the right way to go, to the life that you want, to the business that you want. Hi, I'm Daniela. I'm your intuitive business coach, and I'm helping you build the soulful business that will enable you to live fully and to achieve that big thing that you want to achieve, that will bring the change into the world and people's lives. So let's dive into this episode. Okay, so what makes a decision right or wrong? And to understand this whole concept, first we need to look into decisions from two different perspectives, because there are two very different lenses that are against each other in every decision that we make. So the first lens would be the ego's lens, or we can call it like the human self's lens, right? Like our human side, like what we want as humans, what we want, what our ego wants, basically. And for the ego, a good decision is always getting exactly what I want, nothing else. I have a image of what that decision should bring me, how that should bring me the result that I want, and anything beside that is not a good decision, right? Like, if anything else happens than what I imagined it would happen or it should happen, I get the conclusion that I made the wrong decision, because the whole thing wasn't according to my expectation, right? Like, it's all about expectation. The ego is all about expectation. And I will tell you in a second why. So from the ego's lens, there are no room for mistakes. Nothing. Like, you have one choice, one good decision to make, and that's it. Everything else you choose is wrong. And also, there's no time or no room for delays, basically. So that decision that you make has to be the most efficient, the shortest route, the one that gets you from A to B in the speed of light, right? That is the ego's lens. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is how the ego thinks and how the ego works. On the other side, though, there is the lens of the soul, right? So our souls is basically our essence, like what drives us, what makes us feel passionate, what like really sets our hearts on fire, right? Like that is the soul's perspective in this sense, and so much more. But like let's just stick to that definition for now. And from the soul's perspective, the good decision is basically anything that I am experiencing and is expanding me. Expanding me in a way that I am learning something new about myself, or I'm learning a new skill in any way, or mastering a skill that I already have, right? So, expansion in any way, any decision that leads to expansion in any way will be a good decision according to your soul, according to your essence, according to who you truly are at your core. That is your soul, basically. We call it a soul. We can call it like so many ways. We can call it the core self. Let's just stick with soul for now. According to that, like that is anything that you choose that will make you like a bit more, in a sense, that will be a good decision. So if I translate it like very plainly, from the soul's perspective, there are no bad decisions, right? Because there's just no way in this world that you can do something that is not expanding you in any way. But let's just set that aside for now. Let's just focus on like the decision part. And why is this important? Because whenever you follow your soul, whenever you follow basically your heart, your passion, your right, like what lights you on fire, that will be the right path to take. That will be the path that will lead you to a life that is full of joy, full of satisfaction, full of surprises, full of abundance and wealth, and basically everything that we want, like everything that the ego wants, is on the path that the soul would take, like on the path that will happen if we follow the soul. So there's also that's our first like opposition in this. Like the ego wants basically what the soul shows, but it's not following a lot of the times the soul, and I will tell you why. But I really want you to see that the soul is leading you basically to the life that you have. This is what we call the soul path, the soul pool, where you have the career that you want, because it is coming from what you truly love, what you're truly passionate about. That is a career that will bring you amazing satisfaction. That's the same for business. The business that you build around your purpose, right? Like this is what people would call the purpose, and that is what I in my coaching call the soul purpose. So basically, your soul purpose is telling you what you are meant to do, right? What you are meant to do in this life to achieve the highest levels of satisfaction and joy and love that you can achieve in this lifetime. And that purpose translates to all of the life areas. It translates to your career, it translates into your relationship, it translates into your physical body, like it translates to everything. But if we just focus on like on the business right now, because this is a business podcast, then it will lead you, like a business built on your purpose, on your soul purpose, will lead you to a business that is full of your passion, full of things that you love to do, full of ways you love to connect with people, you love to help with people, and will give you the feeling of I am creating something that is innately valuable because you were created to create that thing, right? You are here to fulfill a purpose, so anything that you create from that purpose is basically essential to this world. So it will give you the feeling of I am creating true value. So that is, it's bringing you to places that you are meant to be in, you are meant to visit. Like my path, my soul purpose brought me to places I never even thought about I should be there. But the moment I was there, I was like, oh my God, I am home. Like this was especially with Nice in France. Like I have never in my mind thought about going there, but then I followed this path of where my soul was leading me. And one of the places I feel truly, truly, truly at home, which is weird. I don't even speak the language. So it will lead you to the people that you need in your life. Like all my truest, really deepest friends, all my, I want to call them soulmates, are coming from the decisions I made when I followed my soul path, when I followed my soul. From taking different courses, from getting into a conversation with a stranger, basically, who became my friend the next day. Like those were decisions made from the soul. So it is leading you to more expansion. But if we want to bring this to the next level, this whole thing, there's a thing called the law of balance, which is a universal law. And it states that everything in this universe has to be in balance. What that means to decisions, like I don't want to go into the whole universal law right now. Let's just translate this to decisions. With decisions, it specifically means that every decision is equally good and bad, because everything has to be in balance, right? It means that when we are thinking about a decision being good or bad, it's actually the both. Like every decision that you make is equally good and bad. So actually, the right question is not, am I doing the right thing? Like this is the question that will throw you off of the path, because there's just no right thing, right? Because everything is equally right and wrong. So the real question that you should ask yourself when you are thinking about decisions, and when you're thinking about this level of decisions, when you want to make truly the decision that is meant for you, right? Like this is how I would like separate the two. That decision, that question would be, is there something calling me in this direction? Right? I will repeat it. Is there something calling me in this direction? And if your answer is yes to that, and I will explain in a second what calling means, but if your answer is yes, that is basically your soul calling you to come, please, like this is your path, like there's something for you here that you will enjoy or like, or will be interesting to you, or will expand you in a way. Come here, please. So this is your calling, basically. This is your soul telling you this is the path meant for you. But here's the tricky part. So this sounds super easy, right? Like, oh my God, like I have the calling, I just need to go, right? Sounds super easy. Yes, it is, but no, it isn't, because the soul is calling you. Great, amazing. How is the soul calling you? So it's basically, it will be like this. For example, you having an idea over and over again, or you seeing the same things over and over again, or you having the same conclusions over and over again, or this is what people basically like would call as signs. Like like seeing the same, I don't know, course ad everywhere. Like this is what people would call signs. I call it more like the soul's calling, and that is also like not always true, but a lot of the times, and you will know the difference. I will tell you how. Also getting the same messages, for example, like in discussions, you pick up the same like sentences, or you pick up the like people telling you the same things, or different people telling you like the same things, or in series you are picking up like again like they're talking about, I don't know, macrame again. Like that's so weird. Like I heard someone discussing this in the coffee shop I went today. Like that is so weird. Actually macrame interests me a lot, but like what the heck, like I didn't even like, it doesn't make any sense, right? This is the tricky part, because it's a lot of the times hard to hear this calling, because it's subtle. And this happened to me when I was switching gears, or like going back circle. I don't even know how to call it. When I started, like when I went to the direction of Dharma coaching, which is the soul purpose coaching certificate that I did. So my background is in marketing. I worked in marketing for like 10 plus, 15 plus years, I think at this point. 10 plus years, yeah. 10 plus years. I had a marketing business before, so it really didn't make any sense for me to do a certificate in soul purpose coaching. Like my clients were all business people. They wanted to build like more businesses, like more successful business entrepreneurs, solopreneurs a lot of the times. We were just really not in there, and I didn't really like know like why, but I really had the nudge that I really want to incorporate coaching in my business, because I really saw how much the issues, the challenges that people were having with their businesses is not with strategy. Like strategy is, I think, 5% of all the weight, the effect on how your business will actually go along, how your business will become successful. The other 95% is the energetics, the mindset, and basically your emotions, like how you are able to manage and handle your emotions, like these three. So I didn't know this back then, obviously. I only knew that I really want to help people with basically building their confidence, because that is what was missing a lot of the times. Like we created these amazing strategies for them, and they didn't do them. Like they're just like, didn't implemented them at all. And I realized it was because they didn't believe in themselves, right? So I needed to find tools that were helping me get there, but I got like, I'm not sure, I don't remember how, but I really like Dharma coaching, like the certificate was in my face, in a sense of I was checking on the website multiple times. I was listening to the podcast of Sahara Rose like religiously, who is the founder of the school. And I listened to so many episodes of hers. And then I started to get told by random people that I should be a coach, which it was weird because I didn't really told anyone that I was thinking about like learning about coaching, and it suddenly people like started to tell me that I should be a coach, and I'm like, what? So, and I started to look into other coaching schools, which were like maybe more relating to what I wanted to give in, and none of those really stick. Like all of those are like, yeah, man, like they don't really interest me at all. And I kept going back to the soul purpose coaching. And long story short, I became a soul purpose coach, and I changed the whole trajectory of my business. I changed the whole of like, it was a whole thing. I will get into that like in a different episode, I think. But the point is that it was subtle. Like it wasn't like this all that I listed you happened in like one day. It happened in like during, I don't know, 3 months or 4 months or 6 months or even more. Like it was a long time since I really got like the, let's call it the message of, yeah, this is something you really should do. because you will really enjoy it. And I have to tell you, I truly, truly, truly enjoy it. Like, I was actually on the verge of burnout with my marketing business at some point. Like, I just didn't enjoy it at all. And now I cannot be more excited about business because I finally incorporated the missing piece that I didn't and so many more missing pieces that I didn't really know that I was missing, like consciously didn't know that I was missing. I felt that something was missing. Like, that was like, the satisfaction, like my ego told me, you have like a thing going on here, like, why throw it away? And then again, like, the soul told me, like, yeah, but there's something here that you will enjoy so freaking much. You really should check it out. Like, just check it out. Just like, go for it. Like, there's nothing to lose, which again, on the ego side, there was so much to lose. And again, I will tell you what, but this is the game that it's played here. So first of all, the nudge, the calling of the soul will be like subtle. Like, it won't be in your face. It won't be like someone yelling at you or like holding a gun to your head, like, you should do this because this is your best thing. It will be really like, it's very easy to just like slide over it and not really take it into consideration. Other thing is, a lot of the times it is not really logical. So like I said, in my case, going for the soul purpose coaching has no rational, like no rationality at all in it to do that certification. And it was a big investment. Actually a very big investment for me at that point in my life. Like, I remember I had to save up for over a year to do the certificate, which is a lot of time. So it's a big commitment in a sense, especially for the ego, especially for the side of us who is super impatient, right? The ego wants results right away. The ego wants the gratification, the validation, the joy, the satisfaction, the happiness, like right now. Like, I'm not waiting, I want it right now. And that is a beautiful trait of the ego. We love it for it. But it doesn't really help with this subtle thing, right? And also the other thing that the ego does, and this is the next trick with the whole thing, why it's so now not as easy to follow the calling, is that the ego wants safety, right? The ego, above all, the ego's desire is to keep us safe. And it is very good at this job. It is supposed to be this good at this job. We love the ego a lot for this, so much for this. But this is actually with every decision. So every new direction that you will take, for the ego, it will be unfamiliar, right? Like, you actually have no idea what will happen there. So from the ego's perspective, it is full of threats. It is full of situation that it doesn't know how to react, full of new people that don't know the intention of that people. So they might harm you in any way, emotionally, mentally. So not like physically, for example, but like, you can, I don't know, be laughed at. You can feel shame, you can be humiliated. Oh my god, like, those are nightmares for the ego, and it does everything in its power to try to save you from that. Again, amazing, love the ego for that. But if you have fears around these, if you have any doubt around these, the subtle calling that you have from the soul would like be even more subtle, if it non-existent at all, because the ego will be so much louder, right? And it will resist this direction because it just doesn't know what to do on that direction, right? Like, the ego will resist with everything that it has. It will create anxiety in your body, right? It will tense up. You will feel fear, right? Like, this is how the ego resists. This is how the ego signals basically to you that it believes that danger is ahead, right? And your logic starts to defy whatever you see in that direction. And especially, like I said, these paths a lot of the time are not really logical to the ego, because it just cannot make the connection at that point, right? Like our souls see so much from such a higher perspective, our lives, that the ego cannot see, because the ego is really in the present. That is his job, to see like the surroundings around you and take note of that. And it really cannot see like 5 steps ahead. It tries to, but usually goes to the doomsday scenario where everything is just like up in flames, because again, this is how it tries to prepare for the worst to keep us safe. The ego is really good at keeping us safe, to be honest. So with, again, the Dharma coaching that I did, the soul purpose coaching direction that I did, my ego was like, oh my God, like that, you shouldn't throw out like 10 years of marketing. Like you would start from scratch, like, and in your 30s, oh my God, like what would people think? Like they will think you are crazy. They will think you've gone mad. Like the clients that you have, they don't care about like soul purpose and what not, like don't do that. It doesn't really, just like go with what you have, like try to make that work. And maybe it's boring, maybe, but we will make it work. Like it maybe will be more interesting, or if it won't be, it's just safe. Like you know how to do that. Like it's just like not as much energy, right? Like not literally, but this is basically what the ego does, making us like go to all the places that we are really triggered by. That also has its reasons, which I'm not going in today, maybe another episode. But again, it brought me up like will be a waste of money. Like it was, like I said, I was saving up for it for like a year at that point in my life. And you can imagine what it was to like really step in that and like, okay, so I am really spending this amount of money to a certificate that I have no idea if people even want, right? Like, because my ego kept telling me like, okay, but people want to know their purpose? Like, is that a thing? You have no idea. Like, do you have proof or whatever? The only thing I have had that was the calling, like that nudge, that subtle feeling that I don't know what it is, but there's just something in this that excites me, that doesn't let me rest, that just like wants me to explore it, right? Like it's just, I just cannot go past by it. And when you start to listen to that nudge, it becomes louder and louder and louder and louder. The more you listen to it, the louder it gets, because actually that is your intuition telling you to go to a direction. And the more you listen to your intuition, the louder it gets, because you trust it more. And also like you can train it to like consciously use your intuition. But that's again like a different topic on what it is and how to do it and everything. But like I want you to know that like that is actually your intuition trying to tell you like, dude, this is really something that you would truly enjoy. Like, please go for it. And boy, was my intuition right. Boy, was my intuition right. But the ego is very smart, and it knows that a direction is bringing permanent change. And though when you are on the other side of the permanent change, the ego will be super fine, but it doesn't want to go to the change, because that is unfamiliar territory to it. And it is much easier for your ego to tell you to stay put, because that will require less energy from you, which is also a goal of the ego, to consume the least amount of energy. Because that is also, what does it do? It preserves your energy for when threat is coming. So I love the ego. Sometimes I hate it, sometimes I love it. Like what really, like when you really see like how amazingly it works, you just have to love it. So what does this all have to do with business? Because I really want you to see that it has implications to all your life, like basically in any life area, not just in business, like in your physical life. If you have like a pull towards a type of movement, like that will be your intuition telling you to go there. Or you have a pull towards a specific person. Again, there are some like nuances to this, but like you have something to do with that person, right? You have a call to a specific hobby, like you really have something to do with that hobby, like there's just no coincidences, really. And with business, it is actually telling you that if you are having a pull towards starting a business, or if you have your business and you have a pull to like a specific direction or exploring a new direction, that is actually the right decision for you. So this is how you know you are making the right decision, when you start to listen to that pull, even in business. Like, we want to believe that we can make right decisions with business when we are relying on our logical mind, which again, our logical mind is amazing and it can add a lot of things into how we do things. But to really truly direction that is meant for us and good for us and good for our soul and will get us to the desires that we really, really want, like the change that you want to bring, or helping other people, or creating the freedom that you want to create, like that is coming from following that decision, because the brain is infiltrated with the ego. they are each other, basically. So it will try to keep you on the path that feels safe. And a lot of the path, like I said, like a lot of the times the path that was meant for you won't really feel safe, because the soul wants to expand, the soul wants to experience new things. So this is how the opposing forces are coming into play with this decision-making process, with the right decision-making process. And this is what is telling you this is what you can follow to get to the right direction. Because the recurring dream that you have about achieving big things, for example, that is a pull that you have. Or an idea, a lot of the ideas that you get about starting your business, or the ideas you get around like a specific topic in your business, that is again your pull to do that, to try that, because it's just no coincidence that you have that. And again, it is easy to mistake this with things that the ego desires. So I want you to try to separate it. So something that the ego desires would be, I want $1 million, which again, it's not a bad thing. It's just like the soul would want to have like a more feeling based thing. Like, let's just put that, like, I want to experience this. I'm super interested in this. I wonder how this would feel. Like these are more the nudges that the soul would send to you. And the other things, when you say like, I want this because this will change my life, that is more the ego. That is more coming from, I don't have something right now that I want to have as soon as I can. So that's why I will rush into that direction, because when I get there, I will finally have that feeling, which is usually not the case. So I am left like high and dry. Again, that's another topic for another episode, like separating ego desires and soul desires. But just I want you to be aware that this is basically the nudge, when you like coming back to things multiple times, when you are circling back to the same things, when you are seeing something and it's just like, it just doesn't leave you rest. That is your nudge to the direction. And why we don't believe it is because we want certainty, right? The ego wants certainty. wants to be 100% sure that if I go into that direction, this will work and I will get exactly what I want. And the nuance with this type of path, which again will bring you the best experiences ever, I'm talking from experience myself, is not how it works. Because the soul path, where the soul wants to lead you, is basically the path of fulfillment, but you kind of need to earn the right by taking risks to get those experiences, right? So that's the one thing. And I will get to the other thing right now, like why you don't see the whole thing right away. But basically, your right direction would be you feel a pull towards a direction, but you also feel a push, right? So if I wanna say it like in one very short sentence, when you feel a pull and a push at the same time, that is your direction. That is your right direction, if you want to call it that way. That is the direction that is meant for you, if you want to call it that way. Like, you just cannot go wrong with that, because that will mean that your soul is calling you to an experience that you will definitely benefit from. And the ego is pushing against that experience because it knows that a change is coming. Ego doesn't like change, and it doesn't know what there is, so it will naturally push and wants you to stay put. So, and that is also why we don't have certainty on this path, because if we see the whole trajectory of where a life would lead us, it will freak out the ego so much, because you are meant to achieve big things, really, really, really big things. I'm not talking about making 10K months and just having a comfortable life. I'm talking about you building a wealth and changing the world with it. This is the path. And it is, if you have a little bit of pull towards that, that is your path. And I really fully believe that everyone has that path in one way or the other. We are here to achieve a change and amazing things and bring good into this world. And if we would see the whole thing laid out for us, if someone just, if I look back 3 years ago and someone would have told me that I am having my own business, helping people, finding their soul purpose and building businesses around that, I would have told that person to shut the fuck up and leave me alone, because that is nonsense. I have no idea how to do that. I have no skills to do that. I have no time to learn that. That would take for ages. And I would have freaked out so much that I would actually run the other way, right? It would be just too much for the ego to stay too far ahead, because your capabilities on this path, your skills on this path, exponentially grow, really truly exponentially grow. Your business exponentially grows. Again, everything has its path, that, but your business grows in a much faster way than it would grow otherwise. Or your environment changes, your relationship changes. There's a lot of change in a very short amount of time, and it's just too much for the ego. So it will actually do a 180 and step on the gas and go as far as it can. So it's a good thing that you don't see the full path, to be honest. So what to do now? First of all, look for the push and the pull, and I have questions for you to help with that. So I want you to ask yourself these questions, okay? First question: where in my life do I feel the pull and the push at the same time? Right? I will repeat it. Where in my life do I feel the pull and the push at the same time? Think it over, have a list. Write it down. Always helps. Second question, what is holding me back to take the first step to that direction? Again, what is holding me back to take the first step to that direction? That will help you see how your ego tries to keep you from moving into the right direction for you, right? Like, that is a very good question. And with business, I want you to ask yourself this: what am I afraid of losing when I go for my business? What am I afraid of losing when I go for my business? That is, again, showing you exactly what your ego tells you to keep you from getting what you want, to keep you, in that sense, small, keep you put in the same place that you are right now. And the fourth question is, what will I lose if I don't go for my business? Again, what will I lose if I don't go for my business? And I want you to be as detailed here as you just can, because this will really lit a fire under your ass. Because you will see the life that you are meant to live and you are keeping on hold because of believing all the things that the ego tells you, right? Super powerful questions. I really spend time on these, and I promise you, if you really put time in the answers, they will give you clarity. They will give you a path to move forward. And if you want even more clarity, you can check in, you can sign up for a free clarity call with me, where we can look into what would be really the right direction for you, really seeing what would be the path that was meant for you, or the next few steps that was meant for you. What is really blocking you from taking those steps? So what are the conscious or maybe subconscious blocks that are blocking you from starting your path in the right direction? And what would be the first best step for you? Really seeing what would be the first best step that will actually start to move the needle and get you out of the maybe decision paralysis that you are in right now, or you are in a lot of the times, because that is super tiring, let's be honest. And we can look at these, and that is my specialty, especially around business and how to build your business around your purpose, because that is my passion. I love it with all my heart. I really want people to have a business that is built around their true passions, around who they really are. Oh my God, if we had businesses like that, that would be such a wonderful world to me. And I want you to have all the big things that you dream of. I want you to achieve that amazing thing that you want to achieve, because I know that everything that you want to achieve will bring amazing things into this world. And I really cannot wait to see that. And I really cannot wait to have the triple effect of when you help people, that is just amplifying my dream of making this world a better place. So I love that. So the link for that is in the description if you wanna grab your free spot. And with that, we got to the end. Thank you so much for being here, and also thank you so much for stepping closer with this to your soul path, because I really truly believe that just expanding our knowledge and learning about new things and getting these nudges a bit more and listening to them more, we are really stepping closer to our soul path, soul pool. So thank you for that, and thank you for being here. And we see each other in the next episode. Bye.